Hi everyone, I have another review for you guys. This time it's on the Kat Von D InnerSteller palette. Want to see swatches, hear my thoughts on this palette, what I recommend it for you to go and get. Please continue watching and thank you so much for stopping by. So this palette was gifted to me by my husband for my birthday, which was in January. And I think he was more or less looking for a nice neutral palette that I could use that was maybe a little different. So this was actually recommended by one of the makeup artists at a Sephora. Picked it up for me, and first of all, it didn't really catch the packaging is very catchy, but the colors themselves did not catch my eye. So I was more or less, I wouldn't say, I was more or less didn't have any sort of expectation for it. Was not something that I would have gone and purchased myself, quite frankly. So I more or less just decided to use it to see what it's worth. The packaging in itself is adorable, very reflective, quite different from a lot of the neutral palettes. Generally see they're more brown tone and stuff like that. This is nothing like that. So it almost looks three-dimensional here. The name InnerSteller is here, Kat Von D. And at the back here more or less has the colors that you are going to get. Sadly, the inside the palette, the colors are not written, so you definitely need to, if you're going to keep track of the colors, look at them at the back. Now, interestingly, the colors, the names are here both places, but the packaging more or less try to mimic a little of the color selection that you would have received in terms of eyeshadow, whereas the actual palette itself just has the names. I'm not sure which I prefer, but I always like a palette that has names on the right somewhere around the eyeshadows. That's quite helpful, because a lot of times if you're doing like say tutorials or anything like that, you want to see the names right here as against flipping at the back of the palette or on the packaging to get the name. So I thought that was a little bit of a hiccup. All in all, I liked the packaging. This is like really sturdy cardboard, has some weight to it. It's not very light and flimsy like some of the other palettes. I mean, it's a good size, but I think it's larger it reminds me a lot of the Too Faced size in terms of the chocolate bar size. It's not as small and sleek as the Naked and some of the other palettes. So give and take, it's okay. It's quite heavy though. That's not a problem for me. Lighter palettes tend to fall out of my hands very easy, as I guess I'm absent-minded a lot of times, or I'm multitasking. So a little heavier palette is okay. It feels quite sturdy in itself, and I like that. So it's good for travel. You can keep it without the box, and it will still feel sturdy and good for travel. Clasp, in terms of closure, is pretty snug. Nothing with a click or anything like that. It's quiet. Good size mirror, cardboard that is all around, and let's get into what the eyeshadows look like. So that's it there. I will of course show you guys close up with swatches. There are 12 eyeshadows with a variety of finishes. You have matte, satin, and shimmer. None of the colors here appear to have glitters. I have used all of the colors except the black. So we're going to see the black together. I'm not someone who gravitates to a black very easy, because I think I look very punched out with really dark smoky eyes, or if I really smoke out a lot of my looks. Generally, a lot of my looks are more towards work. If I'm not doing a look for work, generally it's more of a bright. I try to keep it bright and fun and colorful, since I don't usually wear those colors for work. All of the colors are not the same size. You get 9 that are a certain size. That looks very similar to, say, the Naked palette shadows, even though I do think these look a little bigger or larger. And then you have 3 large eyeshadows, which appear to be like highlighter, or maybe for some individuals like lip colors, quick on the go colors that I think maybe Kat Von D thought would be colors people would gravitate to and use more. So in terms of how much you get, you have these 3 here at 2.3 grams, which is a lot, and then you have 9 by 1.1 grams, so that's pretty good. Generally anything over 1 gram is a is quite a lot to finish. So I think in terms of bang for your buck, just because this has more in these larger pans here, that this is more economical than say the naked palettes. Now the naked palettes have gone to $52 now, or is it 54, which is quite pricey. This palette is actually $46, which is less. It was even less than what you pay for the, I think is the chocolate bars. So this is cheaper than the naked. Has pop of color in it, which the Too Faced palettes do have at least one pop of color against all the neutrals, and this is cheaper than them because I think the chocolate bars are like $49 or $50. So it is in terms of pricing, it is much it is cheaper, and they have nice variety of finishes. I'm not a person to want glitter, so glitters will not attract me. So I'm going to swatch all the colors, try to describe them, start with the 3 on top, and then I'll go below and show you swatches on the back of my hand. Okay, so the first color, which I'll just use my box to get the names, is Gravitron, which is this color. It's appeared to be like it's more like a pale pink, and it feels more satin. Actually, it looks more iridescent. I'm looking at it in natural light and has like some iridescence to it. Then we have Vast, which is this color here, which is very satin to the touch. I think for lighter skin tones this will make a nice brown smoky, like if you put it on a lid, use a darker brown. And then this is Ician, and that's a cream color. It at first I thought it was matte, but it appears to be satin. So if it's not, I mean, it looks very like a creamy matte. So let me swatch it on my hand. So this is definitely an iridescent color, which is Gravitron. Then you have Vast, which looks like that on my hand, and it appears to be satin. And yes, Ician or Icon is appearing to be satin also. So I'm just going to build a second layer of these. I have used Gravitron as inner. I've used that, I think most of the time I use as my inner tether color. So that's the 3 colors there, and they work. I use this a lot of times. It's my highlight color. I am wearing it, and I usually use it as a blending color closer to the brow bone. The next 3 will be Nightcrawler. That's it there. Then Dios, which is this kind of, I'll explain, a little gray color. And then that one is called, okay, I can't see it clearly, Innersteller. Yes, I'm halfway blind. That's the purple. So let me just describe them again. So you have Nightcrawler, which is more like a satin, or almost a matte. I think it's more like a matte. Not seeing a sheen to it really. So it's a matte brown, which is like a taupe, has a on a. I love this. I use this to blend. That's what you're seeing there. I love it. Then you have Dios, which is a nice. Look, I have like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I think I pressed too hard. Which appears to be like a satin, taupey silver, very unique, very, very unique. And then we have the purple color is Innersteller or something like that. And this one is like almost falling apart because I did dig into it. And that's a purple. I did use this as what you call it, crease color, and my husband thought it was gorgeous. He was like actually obsessed with the look I did with this. Then we have Astrological, which appears to be almost like a matte satin. It's like, I don't know, the mattes seem a little like satin because they're like so blendable, so smooth. I don't know. Then you have Dark Star, which is that color there. I think I'm pressing too hard on these. And Orion, which is like a matte brown that I use in my crease. So that's it there. So again, you have Astrological, which is a lilac color. I love this. I wore this on my lid, and then I had this in the crease, and my husband thought it would look really, really nice. Then Dark Star, use that to deepen out my crease. I think the same time I used this color. And then we have Orion, which is, like I said, that matte color. I'll just touch that a little bit more. But yeah, that's gorgeous. You can see the pigmentation. And then we have 3 a.m., which is the color I have on my lid right now. And then we have Moonshine, which is a silver, and then the black, which is Killing Moon. The font is written in a crazy, oh my gosh, look at that. For those of you who like blacks. Oh. So 3 a.m. is a nice shimmery taupe color. We have Moonshine, which is like a standard silver. And then we have Killing Moon. Just one swipe. It's that pigmented. Wow, can you guys see pigmentation? Amazing. When I talk about buttery shadows, these are buttery, smooth, blend well. Why am I doing this? Quite distracting, I'm sure. Blend well. I mean, it's really, really pigmented. I find for the price, this is better than the Urban Decay. It blends amazing. I was so impressed with how it blended and applied, and what I love is that you have a lot of neutral colors that are a little more cool tone. So, and I like cool tone eyeshadows. Kind of like it. I don't know. A lot of people like warm, and I used to like a lot of warm eyeshadows, but of lately a lot of cool tone taupes I love. And as you can see, I'm having a purple pinky kind of obsession going on, and so these colors are amazing. This is great for quick everyday. Like I took, because blending was so easy, I took like less than 5 minutes to do my entire eye, mascara, everything. My applying the eyeshadows, I pretty much, what I did is that I put on my base, use this in my crease going up, then I took this color here, blended into my crease, then I went in with this color, which is Orion, a darker brown, put it more or less in my crease with a crease brush, so it of course was more compact. Then I took this color here, which is 3 a.m., and just packed it on my lid, like one tap in it and packed it on my lid, blend everything again. I lost a little color, so I went back with 3 a.m., packed a little highlight, which was this color, done. Like quick. Lot to me worked much faster than say a Naked palette or even the Benefit chocolate bar. This, and then you get a nice purple. So if you like purples like I do with your neutrals, then this is definitely a palette for you. The only color I can see me not using too much is that black, because I'm not a black person so much to use this. Can you see how pigmented this is? I'm actually afraid of this black. And it is matte, so I can maybe use it as liner, which I still have to learn to master with shadows. I've not learned to master that. But all in all, this is an amazing palette, and for the cost, $46 US, I think it's a given that you should pick it up if you want to get a nice gift for yourself. At first, when I saw it, I was like, doesn't look like, you know, anything much. I have so many neutral palettes, but the quality is to me a notch above a lot of palettes that are out there. And I have other Kat Von D, and I've had others that I have sold to friends, and this to me is a class above all of them, and I absolutely am happy to have it. Will definitely be giving it love outside of me really trying to pan some other palettes, but this is going to definitely be a palette that I would pull out again and use. So I hope that this review is helpful. I would recommend you to get it. I can see myself falling in love with this every time I use it, just because it's such a versatile palette. And for those of you like smoky, you have this color here, which is called, what is this one called? This is called Dark Star. And then you have your black, and this will make a nice smoky eye. I think I'm going to use that and make a nice purple smoky eye very soon. I would definitely rate this palette 4 0.5 out of 5. The packaging in itself is nice. Quality of shadows are amazing. Blend really well, stays on long. I think when I had on these shadows, I went almost 14 hours. I put it on in the morning, had it on till late at night, and then my husband was like, close your eyes, let me see. And I had on the purple, as I said, these two, this on the lid and this in the crease with I think one of these things darkening it up a bit. And he was like, wow, your eyeshadow stayed on. What time did you put it on? I was like, since this morning. Then I told him what palette it was, and he was like, oh, he has these. But amazing staying power and everything. Definitely a 2 thumbs up. Absolutely love it. I wish you would have like half of it be neutrals and then a little green there. Pushing my luck, maybe. But anyhow, that's my take on this palette. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have it, let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know if you don't have it, if you think it's something that you can look at getting if you need to get a palette. Until next time, bye.